Intelligent design in the scientific forum is something which is heavily looked down upon. It will get you cancelled. And this is why, not rightfully so, because if science is supposed to be...
Not cancelled, sorry, but
yeah,
laughed at.
No, I wouldn't even say laughed at, because if this is a way, if this is a way of getting to the truth, then why does it matter what design they're talking about? Whether it's intelligent design, whether it's empirical design, whether it's rational design, science is science. And if somebody thought Newton was true, they'd be laughing at Einstein, and then you're pushing back Einsteinian physics. And if you're in Einstein's level, you're laughing at quantum physics. You can't think like that, because from a scientist's point of view, evidence is evidence. A theory is a theory, hypothesis is a hypothesis, and yes, come with a falsification test. If it goes accordingly, if it doesn't get falsified, we'll entertain it. But what if it's intelligent design? Oh, it's a laughable. No, it shouldn't be laughable.
Because it falls in the face of a peer review, like a thorough scientific investigation.
How so?
So let's look at intelligent design. How would you, man, this guy is so annoying. How would you describe intelligence from the Islamic perspective?
Islam doesn't fall with intelligent design.
Well, Islam believes in God creating Adam and Eve, right?
Yeah.
So we then look at what's the empirical evidence we have today, what we know now. We have that goes against, that goes
doesn't matter. That's what we have today, isn't it?
Yeah. So you have
that can change in a month's time.
And this goes to the point I was talking about, a theory. You will never find a thing where, for instance, they will come down and say Adam and Eve really existed. It's very unlikely, right? A scientist will tell you, they won't say no, they will say it's unlikely. Layman talk, I could just be like, no. How do we know that's not the case? We have the geologic column that shows you don't believe in fossil evidence or DNA.
No. Look at Osas, think of it this way. Fossil evidence based on what? Fossil evidence, what? Because you're excavating in the United Kingdom, there might be a fossil that's right in the depth of the ice of the North Pole. You're never going to be able to access that. There are some fossils that are dug so deep that we simply do not have the technology to access that, because the tools that we have can only dig a certain kind of level into our planet. And even with regards to that, like, we do not have the manpower, we don't have access to,
stuff that we found, though.
Do you see? Again, it relies on stuff that we found, stuff that we're finding. I would even argue with regards to manuscripts. There are so many manuscripts that we have filed away. We just do not have the manpower to be able to go through all the evidence.
Let's focus on intelligent design, right?
Right.
Intelligent design, Islamic perspective, Adam and Eve, created by God. You look at what we do now in our modern day. We have DNA evidence that suggests that we have similar ancestors with other animals. We have the geologic column that shows the layer in which these fossils have arranged. We have actual fossils that we have dug out and dated that ties with the story of, shared ancestry. Right? In other words, you have a mountain of evidence that goes against the claim from a book that says Adam and Eve came from God and all that stuff. So where do we then go in a situation where we have facts that go against the Islamic claim?
So according to the Quran, it says that the sun orbits. Now, 100 odd years ago, this wasn't accepted, that the sun is also orbiting the galaxy, the Milky Way galaxy. I'm just going to repeat that, I know you're getting distracted. So 100 odd years ago, the Quran, as it says today, the sun orbits the galaxy. However, according to science, this was unacceptable. So there were people like yourselves that would come and say, we have a mountain of evidence that say that the sun does not orbit. Who are you guys to come and say that the sun is orbiting? However, that's why I'm saying 100 odd years ago, it was not accepted in the scientific realm that the sun is orbiting the galaxy. However, then later on, as we then started developing technology, and now we know a significant amount, then we're able to say, okay, it's like steady state theory. At the time of Einstein, steady state theory was acceptable. It was the norm. Big Bang came and then knocked it out of the park. total wipeout. Yeah? So the point that I'm trying to say is, what you're saying today is nothing different to what we've heard 10 years ago, 30 years ago, 50 years ago, 100 years ago. There's a mountain of evidence. But then there'll be 2 mountains of evidence coming. Then there'll be 3 mountains of evidence coming. And you're saying that, okay, let's rely on science. Okay, we trust what science says. We're saying that, okay, you have biases with regards to this. When it comes to theology, you're saying scientists don't have biases.
Not their findings, not stuff that has been peer reviewed, right? That has been understood to be a theory.
I thought we already dealt with that. So Amjad already said that these are peer reviewed, that are replicated, that are proved to be false.
I replied to that.
Yeah,
I said you have bad faith actors in science. The only way we even know that people are doing the wrong science is because somebody has come and done it properly. That's it.
Yeah.
So the scientific method is a tool. You can use it to not apply it properly and then arrive at your biased answers. Or you can do it properly.
So look, so you're saying, okay, there's one thing that you can do, and that one thing that you can do, you can check if it's true or not. But look, you can't do this with every single scientific theory. You can't do a replication crisis. I was going to say replication crisis, but it is a replication crisis. You can't do the replication procedure again and again. And Osas, we're going to keep going around in circles, but here's what I want you to do, and I'm saying this objectively in front of the cameras. Go home and check. There are many peer-reviewed journals that have been proven to be false. That's the thing. Like, there are peer-reviewed journals that are pushing steady state. They're peer-reviewed. However, but then they've been abrogated by the Big Bang and what we understand about the Big Bang. But again, some people are again reverting back to steady state. So again, it doesn't matter if it's peer-reviewed, if it doesn't matter if it's family-reviewed or boss-reviewed, whoever's reviewing it.
I'll say this so the people that work with know. The idea of the peer review process is to remove bias and encourage objectivity, because the idea is everybody should arrive at the same answers, right? Another thing to reply to what you said about Amjad biotech farm replication crisis.
So, Smile2Jannah.
Yes.
I'm a subscriber.
MashaAllah. MashaAllah, I appreciate that, bro.
Great job, brother. Yeah. May Allah bless you. And all of us as Muslims.
Ameen. Allah bless you, brother. You take care. Jazak Allah for coming, and Jazak Allah for your kind words.
Alhamdulillah, brother. Take care.
Take care. So you were saying to the people at home?
Yeah, I was saying to the people at home with the Amjad studies. Yes. In the STEM fields, we're talking maths, we're talking hard sciences, you will struggle to find that replication problem. I'm not saying they don't exist, and they probably exist because you have bad faith actors in science.
So they do exist.
You have scientists that will go in there with their own agenda and skew the data or the findings to work with what they have in mind. The only way we get to catch those people is by doing the science properly.
And locking them up.
Flinging them away. I was going to, because we were talking about, intelligent design and just the whole Adam and Eve thing. Are you saying what we know now, or are you rejecting the scientific opinion on the origin of man?
Yes, 100%. 100%.
What the Quran says?
Yeah, what I'm saying is that...
with the evidence available.
Yeah, so look, Islamically, we're told that we're invited to do science. Yeah, in fact, algebra came from Al-Khawarizmi. He wrote a book called Al-Jabr wal-Muqabila. Yeah, algorithms. Yeah, so that was needed because there was a verse in the Quran talking about distribution of inheritance. So we needed that. Yeah, even with regards to our calendar, which is based on the lunar calendar, that's why we started looking out into the cosmos. So this is something that Islam's no stranger to this sort of stuff. However, when something contradicts, for example, if Victor comes, this guy, yeah, he tells me something. And your word's not mine. But if you say something to me, I'm going to more likely be inclined to what you said than him. Yeah, because of the discussions that both of us, I've had discussions with him, I've had discussions with you. Yeah, there's a little bit that I've gathered from him, there's a little bit I've gathered from you. Yes, indeed, I can't say I objectively know both of you. However, I can come to a reasonable kind of conclusion. Now, if I extrapolate that, if I take somebody that I know and I've lived with for 1 year, extrapolate that further, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, extrapolate that further, yeah? And as opposed to somebody that was born maybe a year ago, a 1 year old or 2 year old mentality. You can't compare the two. For us, the Quran and the wisdom in the Quran is timeless. Yeah, science is time bound. It's intellect bound. Yeah, it's research and facility bound. It's not objective. It doesn't claim to be objective. So that's why when something contradicts something which is in something that is coming from the Quran, we, without a shadow of a doubt, will take something from the Quran, because we have no doubt that one day science will catch up. Where science ends, Islam begins. That's why for us, Islam transcends all of this. But we don't disrespect and we don't say, okay, that's something that's there. No, we're sensible people. Yeah, we've got due process, even we've got fiqh, jurisprudence, how we extract knowledge, how we extract rulings. So it's not as simple as, I'll take this, I don't take that. I'll read this, I don't read that.
It's not simple like you say, that regardless of whatever evidence is presented to you, if it goes against anything in the Quran, it doesn't stand. Is that your opinion?
Yeah, once it goes through the due process, which we term as fiqh, and we have our own due process, then yes, without any hesitation, we will take the Quran over science.
No. So my question was, you have your Islamic beliefs.
Yes.
There's a mountain of evidence that goes against something in the Quran.
Yes.
Do you discard that regardless of the level of evidence? Or,
yes, I gave you the example of the sun orbiting the galaxy. That was something that science hadn't yet discovered, but it was in the Quran. Muslims stood by the Quran and eventually science caught up. That's what I'm saying. Science is playing catch up to Islam.
Science is playing catch up to Islam in every area.
Islam doesn't say that it has the answers to every area. For example, dinosaurs. Islam doesn't talk about dinosaurs. Islam doesn't go heavily into medicine. There are certain things that God has put in place, and that's why we do science. In a place or in a scenario where science is contradicting an explicit something that scholars have accepted, then we take what the Quran says and no. There are certain verses that there will be difference of opinion. However, it's something that is clear, it's something that scholars have accepted upon, then yes, 100%. We throw science to the side and we accept that.
I think there's something, so my issue with the idea in general is that there's something dangerous in vaulting yourself down to an idea and say, regardless of whatever is presented with me, I won't change my mind because I understand this to be factually true. The problem with that is the change is constant. Things are bound to, as we know, about life, right? So what then happens in a society where we develop different sensibilities and we have different morals, or we have an idea that is informed by data that then goes against the Quran, that then means that you have to ignore that and stick with the Quran. So even in places where, in other words, even in situations where believing in words of the Quran will put you in danger, or is not the best idea because it's condoned by the Quran, for instance, you are obligated to follow through.
Yeah, science falls within this same, I wouldn't say it's a problem, but the problem that you've identified, it's called the Milgram experiment, which says that people were willing to induce people with electric shocks to a higher level just because somebody in a white coat told them to do so. That's number one. Yeah, so that's
because of science. That's just human nature.
Yeah, Milgram experiment.
Yeah, I don't doubt the experiment. I'm just saying you can't attribute that and say.
No. I'm telling you, this is this is an anthropology. Whether you accept it or you deny it, this is an experiment that was done.
I don't doubt that. Human beings we're weird like that.
Yeah,
so it doesn't take away from
Yes, all right. But that's what I'm saying, that where you would take somebody, when I say you, I mean average, somebody in a white coat. You would take testimony just because somebody claims that they are from Oxford. If I tell you, I'm studying at Cambridge University, will you accept that?
If you say so, yeah.
That's the problem. Now,
if you're telling me to take a pill because you studied at Cambridge, I would want to see your credentials.
But that's the thing though. Now you've built on that, said, but I would want to see your credentials.
No, because your statement was you studied at Cambridge. Of course, nobody does that.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
Nobody with sense should do that. You can't just follow.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Whatever you're saying with regards to theological people or people that follow a theology, I'm saying the same, if not worse, applies to people that blindly follow science. In fact, that's why we have scientism. Scientism falls under this, I would say more so more so than Islam. Because in terms of testimony, you can't verify the testimony as much as you can with Islam and with Muslims, and with regards to other things as well.
I disagree with that because of the point you made earlier about the paradigm problem.
Yeah.
And I didn't describe it as a problem, I describe it as the beauty of science in that when people hold opinions or have ideas based on data or whatever, and then new data comes and improves your knowledge, and it goes against what you knew before,
Yeah.
you're expected to change your views. That's a scientific process, right? It's like we used to think this, now we have more knowledge that supersedes that, so we change our views. This is not the case with religion. Religion is, this God has given you rules, you must follow these rules. Anything that comes that goes against these rules, you cannot change your mind. So the difference being, science, or people that would lean or form opinions based on that, they're bound to change. You're supposed to change, that's the belief. As opposed to somebody that believes grounded in Islam and says, regardless of whatever you put in front of me, I'm not changing. That to me is a problem.
Yeah, I would say, I would reiterate that this quote-unquote problem, again, applies to atheists. And that's why you've got people that they follow scientism, because they believe that science holds the key to every form of truth. Yeah, that these people follow evolution blind. They will say evolution, despite whatever evidence is going to come, evolution is fact according to science. Big Bang Theory is fact. We're not going to change, and that's why I also said that there is difficulty for barriers to entry in science for people that believe in intelligent design, and you said it is laughable because it goes against that. But again, we're going round in circles and circles, because your mountain of evidence can be refuted by another mountain of evidence.
Not with evolution.
So you're saying evolution, you can't come across more observations that will change evolution, that there can be a paradigm shift to evolution.
I'm saying, I don't know. Oh my God.
The wings, man, Quran, chapter 17, verse 47. Islam is Muhammad.
You give him attention, he's going to come to you more. He might even just jump onto your back.
Muhammad.
Not try that.
All right, Asos, I think we've had a really good.
I enjoyed that, man.
Yeah, no. Check it out. Again, this is going to be online. You can verify everything that I said, but yeah, let's catch up on this.
I'll come some other time, we'll continue our conversation, man.
Yeah.
Hopefully this devil won't be around.
Come on. Well, yeah, you're just going around in circles, isn't it?
Well, you know, if he wasn't lost, he would have been. By the way, this one's
Use it, but please bring it back. Don't throw it.
You get Ajit first.
Give it back.
EDU. Dawah.
You get Ajit first.
Shout my name in front of you.
Ali Dawah!
Oh, man, that's a boy.
Only after 3 days. Other than he has to give me salam after 3 days. Sorry, go on. Okay.